Hello everybody and welcome back to the garden. It's a gloomy November day and there is some frost on the way, so we need to do some harvesting. Let's go. So first of all, let's have a look what needs harvesting. There's not that much left really in the garden. There's some dying tomatoes, I think, a couple of baby pumpkins and maybe some beans for seed saving. But let's have a quick look first. We can probably start from here. It's the ex-chicken run tomato fence. The tomatoes themselves are dying. I think they got hit by a blight. I didn't have time to harvest anything last week, so I'm gonna do it today. There's still some fruits on some of the plants, so we're gonna harvest all the green and red tomatoes from here. So that's where we are in the ex-chicken run. Let's have a look in the main garden. There's not that much really to pick anymore. My winter salad bed is doing well. That can handle some frost, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's have a quick look at the winter radish. Is that even ready? Oh yeah, that's not that bad. I'm not quite sure how big it's supposed to grow. I never grew that thing before, but I'm gonna try that today. So as I was saying, the radishes, the mizuna and the lettuce over there can stay here. They're gonna be fine with the frost. In the main veggie area, there's not that much to pick really. I think I'm gonna harvest all my red cabbages. That's gonna be quite a big harvest. And pick all the coco de pampol beans for seed saving. And that's it probably. I might dig out the late planting of potatoes and see if there's anything growing there. We'll have a look how we go with time. Okay, so first of all, let's try to save as many tomatoes as I can. The plants are getting blight. It's very late in the season, so it won't do much more. I'm picking all the green and red tomatoes. It's mostly the cherry tomatoes I have left. All the Italian tomatoes are gone already. The blight got them very quickly. But seems like the cherry tomatoes are slightly more resistant to blight. I think I'm just gonna get this handful of tomatoes. I don't really want any more of this plant. It looks too gunky with the blight. I can just quickly put the plant in a compost bin and clear this area slightly. So as I was saying, all this greenery can go in a compost bin. I don't really want to harvest any more of this stuff. There's too much blight on it. It doesn't look very appetizing. Because it's so badly blight infested, I'm gonna put it in a separate compost bin. I don't really use it much for veggie gardening. While I'm here, I might find some pumpkins as well. Well, I got one. It's rather small, but that's 1 meal. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I got a handful of cherry tomatoes and 2 baby pumpkins. It's not much, but that's always something. Let's go to the main garden now. Okay, so I think I can harvest my red cabbages. They're definitely not gonna grow anymore and they might get damaged by a frost. So finally, after all these months, the nets can come off. I can already see one of them split, unfortunately. But I think all the rest are fine. They are not the biggest one, but definitely worth growing. I love red cabbage. It's lovely as a sauerkraut or raw in a salads. You have to appreciate the color of it as well. So let me quickly continue with this harvest. There's not that many of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7 only. The good thing with the cabbage is, even if it looks a bit gunky on the outside, once you peel the outside leaves, it looks perfect. That's a whopper. So I think that's all I'm gonna get from that patch. All the leaves and the big split cabbage can go for the chickens or for the compost. I got 6 average cabbages and 2 tiny ones. So that's not that bad really. And now we can have a look at Coco de Paimpol. Okay, so here in this mess is the leftovers of my Coco de Paimpol. I'm just gonna pull the whole plant and quickly pick all the pods. They can go for drying in a conservatory. And I can harvest the seeds for my seed saving for next year. And all the plants are gonna go on the compost. They all semi-dry already. I could have picked them a bit earlier. We had a big storm. We had a big storm passing by a day or two ago, so everything is rather damp. But like with everything, there's no time in a week to do anything. I go to work when it's still dark and I come back home when it's already getting dark. So the only time in a garden I have nowadays is on weekends, which is not ideal, but what can you do? Those beans gave me quite a bit this year, to be honest. That's a second sowing. Turned out to be much more productive than the first sowing. That sadly got damaged by spider mites. Okay, while I'm here, I can pull the butternut squash. That's not gonna do anything anymore. I'm pretty sure there's no fruits on it. I never have good luck with butternut squash and I planted it a month ago just to try. Can't even see any baby fruits on it. No, nothing, just foliage as expected. And I think the last item on the agenda today are the late planting of potatoes. I think it's better if I dig it out, I can see some first sign of blight on them. So it's better to harvest the potatoes. The foliage would die tomorrow anyway. We are getting frost tonight. So let's have a look if I got, what is it, 4 harvests of potatoes in 1 year. Let's go. All right, so let's have a look if planting potatoes so late paid any dividends. I think I planted them about 2 months ago, so we'll see. Looks like the plants themselves are getting first signs of blight, so they're not gonna do anything anymore. And we are getting that frost, as I said. But well, look at that. There is some harvest coming. There's plenty and plenty of small potatoes. The good thing is I still have the foliage on them, so I know where to dig. Oh, that's quite surprising. I'm even getting some bigger ones. It's not the biggest harvest of potatoes, but for 2 months of growing, just before winter, it's not really that bad as well. Let me continue with this harvest and I'll bring you back when I'm done and I'll show you how much I got at the end. Alright, so I think that's officially end of 2025 gardening season. Don't think I can harvest much more from the outside. I still have some beetroot, carrot and leeks, but they can stay. They can handle the frost a bit. So today I got a third of a bucket of potatoes. Hope the camera is picking it up. Which is not that bad really, considering they only had about 2 months to grow. I also got a couple of red cabbages, 2 small pumpkins, handful of tomatoes and a bunch of coco de pampol for seed saving. So all in all, not a bad day. Since we are in the greenhouse, I can quickly show you and update you on the progress with the salad beds. Let me show you. So here they are. That's the winter radishes in this row. And the next one is the Mizuna, growing slowly and steadily. There's a couple of elephant garlics, 3 of them. Those are, for whatever reason, leftover from last year. Actually from this year. I must have forgotten to harvest a couple of them. So they are regrowing, ready for next year. And on this side of the bed I have my couple of plants of parsley and my lettuces. The big ones are the transplants from outside, and all this stuff in the middle are freshly sown lettuces. This bed badly needs weeding. It's almost end of November and the weeds never give up. But that's gardening for you. Here on the floating shelves, let me just quickly show you my French beans. They decided they're gonna flower like crazy now. I'm actually getting some pods, baby pods. We'll see if they'll survive the coming frosts. That was an interesting thing to try. I definitely gonna repeat it, but try to plant the beans a couple of weeks earlier. They definitely didn't have enough time to grow and develop this time, but it's good to know for the future. They are turning into quite bushy plants actually. Alright, so I think that's all I have for you today. Just a quick harvest before the frost comes. There's plenty of things to do in a garden, but sadly, as I said before, the days are way too short. By the time I get back from work, it's already getting dark, so there's only Sundays for me. And that's one of the reasons why the videos might be coming a bit slower over the winter. We'll see. I might do some indoor filming as well, if I find the time. But for now, that's all I have for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!